It's turning a little chilly in our area now that fall's hit, and we're going to make some delicious beef stew in our Instant Pot today. And we have all of our ingredients set. We have some locally sourced vegetables. We're going to be using red potatoes, carrots, and onions. We have some beef chuck roast here, boneless, baby bella mushrooms, and some other ingredients to make a quick, simple, easy, delicious comfort food meal. So we're ready for the first step in making our beef stew. I've gone ahead and let my chuck roast come to just about room temperature, and then I've seasoned it. This is your chance to season it if you like. You don't have to. You are the boss of your own beef stew. I've just put a little bit of salt and pepper on that. I've trimmed it up and cut it into just about 1-inch size pieces, so that's going to work well for me. And we have a little bit of a meaty one. You're going to want to use about 1 pound or so. Like I said, you're the boss of your beef stew. We wanted to do a little meatier version this time, so we've got a little bit more than 1 pound. And I have my Instant Pot on saute, and I've put a little bit of canola oil and butter in there, and it's heated up. We just have a little bit of plain flour here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start putting our beef pieces into the flour, and then we're going to coat them and put them on a tray so that they can get a little bit of the flour dusted off. So as you can see, we're just coating them and putting them onto this rack here, this little tray and rack setup here. And I'm going to do that to the meat so we can sort of shake some of it off. And then we're going to just put them into the oil and butter. Not a whole lot of oil and butter. You're just sauteing. You're not stewing them or cooking them in the oil and butter. You just want to brown the sides. And you don't want to overcrowd your pot. So I'm going to let you look inside here. You see we've just got them where there's a little bit of room here. And the flour just helps to, and the sauteing helps to give the meat a better flavor. You get a little bit of a brownness on it, caramelize it a little bit on the sides, and then you get a little bit of that fond on the bottom, the brown bits, that will help flavor your stew. So we're going to go ahead and just get all the rest of the meat into the flour and onto this tray and do the next step. Now it's important to know at this stage we're not really cooking the beef, we're just browning the sides. In the meantime, while that's going, we're going to get our vegetables ready. We're going to put in some onion. Look at these giant red potatoes. I'm not sure we're going to put in quite 2 of them, but we'll see. And then we've got some carrots. Now you're going to put in what you like. We like ours to, like I said, to be a little bit more hearty. Carrots are one of our favorite things in the stew, so we're going to put in the carrots. Probably going to go with 1 of these potatoes, and then maybe about half of this onion, maybe 3/4 of the onion. I also have some garlic cloves to put in. So I'm going to chop these up, and I'm not going to be real fancy on them. I'm just going to rough chop them. They're going to be steaming and stewing in the Instant Pot, so it doesn't really matter how diced they are uniformly. So I'm going to give these a rough chop, put them in my bowl, and in the meantime, we'll be finishing up the beef. So you can see I've got them all browned up nicely. Again, they're not cooked through, they're just browned, and I've put them in this bowl. And what we have on the bottom of our Instant Pot is all this nice brown goodness. That's what you want. That's what you're going for. While it's still on saute, we're going to deglaze it. Let's get the camera out of the way. With about 8 ounces of red wine. And what that's going to do is it's going to help to bring up some of those brown bits so they're not stuck to the bottom and make them part of this stew. So we're going to go ahead and just take our little tongs here. I am using silicone, and just let it clean the bottom and come all up. So here you can see we've got nothing stuck to the bottom. Everything's loose, and that's what you want. As I said, that adds flavor to your soup, and also you won't get an error message to your Instant Pot if you don't have food stuck to the bottom of the stainless steel insert here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add back the meat that we took out, and all the juices from the bowl from the meat. So I'm just going to go ahead and add those back in here. Making sure we're getting all of that meat, all the juice. We're going to add in the vegetables we've cut up, and they're a nice rough chop. We like a nice rustic stew. Nothing terribly fancy. We've got 4 garlic cloves. I'm just throwing them in whole. However many mushrooms you like. My mom is a mushroom fan. I got lots of mushrooms in there. This is going to be a really thick vegetable beef stew, I think. We've got a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and about 4 cups of beef broth. I'm going to see if this is enough. We may have to add more. And then we're going to cook this on high for about 30-35 minutes until the vegetables are soft, and we will see how the beef stew is. I added another 2 cups of beef bouillon because I feel like my stew is a little bit chunky, but you are the boss. You add as much or as little as you like, as thin or as thick. We're going to put the lid on and go ahead and set it. I'm going to put it on pressure cook for 30, I'm going to say 33 minutes, and we'll see how it does when it's done. All finished. Look how gorgeous that looks. Big chunks of potato, meat, carrots, and it smells absolutely amazing. We're going to go ahead and put it in our bowl and have ourselves some beef stew for lunch. Hopefully you give it a try. Feel free to obviously add your own spin and make it your own.